Good evening, everyone. Mayor, City Councilors, good evening. I'm Rick Westcott, and I'm here this evening as the chairman of the Tulsa City Council Passenger Rail Advisory Committee. I don't think I need to spend any time discussing the advantages of passenger rail with you guys. You've proven over the last few years that you're aware of the advantages. For me, the primary advantage is economic development. But I also think that passenger rail hits all of the points that Councilor Ewing just mentioned: connectivity, transportation, economic development, sales tax generation, all of those things. The reason that we don't have passenger rail right now is we can't get from Sapulpa to downtown Tulsa. For those who may be watching on TGov or read about this later, may not be aware that we could have passenger rail into Sapulpa today. The rail from Midwest City to Sapulpa is owned by a company called Watco, and they've entered into an agreement with a provider called Iowa Pacific Holdings to provide passenger rail service. The problem is getting from Sapulpa into downtown Tulsa. That section of line is owned by Burlington Northern. Burlington Northern is in the freight rail business. That's how they make money. And anything that has the potential of interfering with their freight rail business has the potential to cost them money. They're very reluctant to allow passenger rail service on line that they own for that reason. It has the possibility of causing a delay in their freight operations, has the possibility of costing them money, and I certainly understand their concerns. There are two possibilities to get from Sapulpa into downtown Tulsa. And I spoke with officials from Iowa Pacific Holdings, the company that has committed to providing passenger rail service. And they believe that there is clear language in some of those sale documents for the rail line dating back a few years, which binds Burlington Northern to allow 2 round trips per day over that line they own if ODOT designates a certain company as their designated carrier, the official ODOT designated passenger rail carrier. Iowa Pacific believes that if we're able to identify a terminal downtown, a train station downtown, and get some type of commitment, maybe not a firm contract of sale or lease, but a letter of memorandum, letter of intent, some kind of commitment to a terminal facility downtown, then that can be taken to ODOT, who can then use that commitment, use that document in discussions with Burlington Northern, show Burlington Northern that this company, say Iowa Pacific Holdings, this company is the official designated carrier, and per those sale documents from a few years ago, then Burlington Northern is bound to allow up to 2 round trips per day over that Sapulpa to downtown line that they own. So as we see it, as the members of your Passenger Rail Advisory Committee see it, the immediate critical need to get from Sapulpa to downtown could be solved, and solved fairly quickly, within a few months, if Tulsa in general, if the City Council, if other downtown entities are able to find and secure a terminal building, get some type of commitment, and then take that commitment to ODOT, then we're on our way. So the Passenger Rail Advisory Committee asked the City Council to do whatever you can to help identify, help secure a downtown terminal building. And there are some discussions underway. There are some folks downtown who are interested in a community-oriented way, and they're trying to work on this, but we ask the council to assist and help find a building downtown. There's a second way, and I want to be very, very careful. This second idea does not come from Iowa Pacific Holdings. This is an idea that the Passenger Rail Advisory Committee had in our 2012 report. This is not a requirement that Iowa Pacific is making or even suggesting. This doesn't come from them, this comes from us. What if we bypass Burlington Northern? What if we bypass their line? We do that by the city of Tulsa building a rail line from Sapulpa into downtown Tulsa. This is part of the committee's 2012 report, and you can go look it up later if you so choose. Roughly speaking, it would be around $15 to $20 million to build a line. One of the members of our committee is an engineer. His name is Tom Verdell. And in 2012, he did a back-of-the-envelope cost analysis. And he estimated in 2012 that it would cost $14.6 million to build the line, bypassing Burlington Northern from Sapulpa into downtown Tulsa. Now, let's be fair. This was a back-of-the-envelope estimate, probably off by a little bit. And it's 2012 dollars, and there's probably been inflation and escalation of costs since then. So it's 25, 30%. It's still in the ballpark of $15 to $20 million. This could be a second step to getting passenger rail. Could be a first step if Burlington Northern just isn't willing, and that initial solution that I mentioned can't be achieved. This could be a first step, but it also could be a second step. Say we're able to identify a downtown terminal, and we go through ODOT, and we're able to obtain access over Burlington's line that they own in the first suggestion. Say we can do that. We're still subject to Burlington Northern, and I'm not picking on them. We're still subject to whoever owns the line. We're still subject to that track owner's desires and what they're willing to allow on their line. 2 round trips a day is the bare minimum that we would need. Really, most folks will tell you we need 3 to 4 to 5 round trips per day. Lawfully, all that Burlington Northern can be compelled to allow is 2 round trips per day. But if the service operates on a line that we, the city of Tulsa, owns, we control it. We decide how many round trips a day we allow. If we want 3, 4, 5 round trips a day, we don't have to deal with some other track owner. So the second part of the suggestion is, and this is where we get into the vision ask, and the suggestion is, between now and then, we suggest that the council do some detailed work and look at exactly what the cost would be in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 million. And look at the city of Tulsa obtaining right-of-way, leasing right-of-way between Sapulpa and downtown, and building its own rail line. And then we control it, and we decide how many trains a day we get between Tulsa and Oklahoma City. That's the last piece. Sapulpa to Tulsa, Sapulpa to downtown is all that we need. There's an immediate way to solve it, we believe. Identification of the terminal, going to ODOT, going to Burlington Northern. I think that can be done relatively quickly. But maybe the long-term solution is the city owns its own line, and then we control our access. That's all. Thank you very much.